What's cracking? We are live with the breaking news update.
What's cracking, everybody? So this is we weren't planning on going live tonight, but myself, Lupe got at me, and then a few people got at Gunner about the escaped convict from California. He's been on the run a few months already, and right now the news is that he was involved in a shooting with an officer. That officer is no longer living. It was a raid, I guess. It was an operation the Mexican authorities were trying to do in Tijuana to get him, and he was ready. I'm going to read an article when we get more people in here, but we didn't want to leave any dead air time in the beginning of this video because this video is staying up.
Yes. So I heard from 5 different individuals. The stories all are pretty much the same. I heard from a homie that's out there in TJ right now who says there may or may not be a standoff right now from the Delano Escapee and the Mexican authorities. Now, he's being accused and alleged to have killed someone, a very high-ranking authority in Mexico. And so, this is a situation where Dubs was just telling me, what does this escape even make sense? The way he's going to be in Mexico now. He's going to be, if he killed someone in Mexico, they're definitely going to give him.
He's not going to survive this.
No, I don't see him surviving this. If it's a standoff,
I mean, let me read the article. So the article that I'm looking at says a law enforcement officer was killed in an apparent shootout reportedly involving escaped inmate Cesar Hernandez, according to several Mexican news organizations. The incident occurred during an operation to arrest Hernandez near Tijuana, where Commander Abigail Reyes of the FESC was shot and killed. Hernandez managed to escape from the scene, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Hernandez, 34, escaped from custody in Delano, California on December 2nd, 2024, while being transported to a court appearance. The Delano Police Department reported that Hernandez evaded staff custody, jumped out of the transport van, and fled. He was serving a 25 to life sentence for first-degree murder, a second strike offense, after being received from Los Angeles County on June 27th, 2019. They're still looking for him. Mexico moves different than the United States. I don't know what kind of connections he has in Mexico, but killing that cop, a lot of people in Mexico are probably going to back up off him. And what I had told Gunner was that escape even worth it? Being on the run, Gunner's been on the run. I've been on the run. Mm-hmm. And being on the run is no fun whatsoever. Being on the run in Mexico, see, when you do something over here, we have a constitution, we have things that we have some safeguards here. You have officers in Mexico who wear ski masks and carry around assault rifles, like they're ready to go at all times. It's a different world, and if this guy winds up, in a lot of pain before he dies, it won't be surprising.
So I was on the run in Mexico in Juarez, but I was on it was a whole different type of situation. I mean, it was just a simple assault and whatever. Ain't nothing that a little bit of money could, it wasn't like the authorities in California were going to go into Mexico to get me. This is a different situation. This guy was a murderer, a convicted murderer, who basically made the administration look bad by escaping in the first place. There was it was questionable, if it was an inside job, how the security wasn't up to par. He was able to get on. He's been on the run now for a cool minute, since December. And everyone assumed he went to Mexico just because he's Mexicano. That's just usually the first option. The thing is, nowadays, United States and Mexico, and on these operations, it's not even nowadays. Sometimes they work hand in hand. Scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. If you have an American fugitive over there, someone that's really high profile like that, they'll snatch him up. In this case, this guy's not trying to go out like that, Dubs. So,
so my thing was this: when he escaped, we all assumed he was going to go into Mexico. We didn't want to say that because it is what it is. My thing was, if you make it into Mexico, if you got any sense, you keep going. because there is an extradition treaty with the United States and Mexico. So you can't hide there and then think, oh, the government will protect me. No. And you damn sure can't go into Mexico and hide out and kill a cop and then think they're going to be like, okay, yeah. No matter how, with the tariffs and maybe the government is, tripping on the United States. Nah, you killed somebody over there, and it's somebody in uniform. So this has taken the worst turn that it could have took. It took already.
And even more so, just to elaborate on that a little bit and piggyback off of it, they're saying it's a very high-ranking officer. So I mean, it doesn't matter. An officer is an officer, but high-ranking officers, very well respected. Got a lot of respect and a lot of loyalty from a lot of these individuals, these cops that work with them. It's a situation now where, man, I hate to use the word, but I will say. Mexico is no joke, and I don't see any way possible this guy surviving what's coming for him in Mexico.
I would be surprised if he lasts a couple of days now.
Yes,
it's it went from okay, yeah, he's probably here. When we get to him, we'll get to him. To now, I'm sure they're like, get to him. And I see somebody in the comments said, if he hooks up with the right people, why would the right people want that type of heat?
Yeah.
I mean. Anybody that's already involved in some serious shit over there, why would you invite that guy that the cops are all out looking for now? That doesn't make sense to me.
And here's even the thing right now. So I heard from 5 different individuals, one that's in Mexico right now, and 3 of them told me, and 2 I didn't even get a chance to ask. They just said, "Hey, man, this dude's fucking allegedly killed a cop, whatever. They're on him." 3 of them told me that he's in a standoff situation right now in TJ. Now, I don't know that to be true because I haven't seen it on the news. You would think it would make the news. But these are guys that are right there. We try to get, we have a homeboy that's out there, in that area. We tried to get a hold of him, but he just didn't answer his phone to try to confirm it. But if he is in a standoff, man, usually standoffs don't end too well, right? When you've already got a murder case in California and now you've killed a cop in Mexico, that's a bad situation to be in because Mexico plays the game very differently. Just like Doug says, the Constitution can't protect you out there.
So another article I'm looking at, just because when Gunner said, because we don't want to, we don't know. Nobody knows over here right now actually what's going on. But a second article says several Mexican law enforcement agencies participated in the operation, including the Secretary of National Defense, the National Guard, and Tijuana Police. Officer Esparza Reyes, 33, reportedly died after being shot during the operation where the American fugitive was barricaded and then fled. So that might be the standoff that you initially heard of.
Okay.
But it says he was barricaded, and I guess there was a shootout, and he got away.
Man, that guy got 9 lives. We're gonna start calling him the
knowing them, if he would have been still barricaded right now after he killed the Huda, they would have just shot a tank at that motherfucking house. It's not the United States. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't, we have very rough jails in California as far as violence wise, but we are actually babied compared to prisons in Mexico or the way the system is in Mexico compared to the United States. We are afforded a whole lot of liberties.
So that's probably where the information, because I got this information about an hour ago, right? Where people just started, hey, hitting me up. So that's what the situation was he was barricaded and was able to wiggle. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not somewhere else right now, barricaded in a standoff as well. But again, going upon what that says right there, that makes sense. This guy is, when you're in a situation, you're on the run, like me and Dubs have said in the past, both having been on the run, crime comes easily. You do more crime and more crime and more crime. It's because you're already like, man, I'm going to prison anyway, so fuck it, right? So I can only imagine already being a life, having 25 to life, a murder. Now another one, this guy's going to be all out. Like, he's already going all out. To have killed a cop, he doesn't care, It's nuts. But it's crazy. I knew eventually they'd catch up to him. I thought he'd get a little bit of a longer run. It's been pretty quiet. I've been checking into it every once in a while, like, whatever happened to this dude, because people ask. And today it went down. So they've been on him. Dubs, they've been staying on him. And the Mexican authorities, they literally tracked him down, but he was able to kill one and get out. Get on. That guy's
And it makes you, I mean, you have to wonder, how did he get found out? Did he burn a bridge?
yeah.
It's different over there. It's very different.
You know, I know of one guy who was a northerner, right? Very high ranking at one point. In fact, even more than that. But I'll say that much. And he was staying down in Mexico, opened up a little store, was in the cuts for a while, right? And was dealing with some individuals back and forth, still wanted to deal with the politics, still wanted to deal with the gang, and still, you know, having dudes cross over back and forth, and made the wrong decision of getting into an argument with one of them. And that was that.
Mm-hmm.
It all came crashing down. That's what I'm saying. It's usually the people that you're fucking with, or closest to you, or family. You know they can get you out of the way. They're going to get you out of the way. So, but again, we're just assuming. We don't know exactly what happened. They could have just been watching this guy for the last month, giving him a little long leash to run around.
Well, you see in the articles, it's saying multiple agencies were involved. So, you know, this isn't something where they just, oh shit, hey, there's that guy. No,
they've been watching.
This is something I won't be surprised if somebody tipped them off. But the thing is this, honestly, he's Delane says he can turn himself in and be safe. No, that's Mexico. No. He killed a cop. He will not be safe. His best bet is to die.
This is the one situation where just maybe a slight chance, but Mexico is different, man. Delane, to explain to you the how you feel in Mexico when it comes to the cops, it's a whole different feeling. They're not like here. But the only thing I could see is where he could, if he could, and I don't know how, get to the American consulate, somehow fucking tell him, hey, you know what, I'm American, get me, bust me. I want to be like, then. Maybe.
I don't even think that. I think his best bet, not the American consulate, because it's still in Mexico. I think he needs to try to cross over and turn himself over. Like, yeah. I mean, in the American consulate, it may work. And he just say, hey, man, I'm an American citizen. It isn't true, and I want to go do my life sentence. You know what I mean? Yeah. But man,
that's what I'm saying. That these are a couple options for him. And again, these are slim chances here. But yeah, and so they're saying it went down in Baja California. That's where the initial contact with them was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing from people from TJ, so that's further north, a little bit further north from that area, right? Am I right? When it comes to, I've never been to TJ. I've only been to Juarez.
No, not necessarily. It's the same area.
Okay, same area, but it seems like, hey man, you're right there on the border. You got to try to get over, buddy. You got to do the cheech and fucking just go down the hill.
And check this out. And something, and it's one of those things where, you know, it's kind of like, it's weird, but it's true. Okay. If that dude was to somehow get back in American custody, he's a star.
Why?
People will send him money. People want to interview him. People will send him packages. He will be incarcerated for the rest of his life, but he would actually be balling.
He will forever be known as the guy who did that.
Yeah.
You know. No, I hear you right there.
But there's the possibility. I mean, but no, because he's an American citizen. So yeah, he couldn't be sent to that prison in El Salvador. But yeah, his bet. I know right now the last thing he's thinking of is, hey, I'm gonna turn myself in and be a social media fucking superstar.
No,
right now he's thinking, how did they know? Yeah. How did they find out? And who can I trust? And the answer is, it don't matter how they found out, and you can't trust nobody.
Yes.
That's it.
It doesn't matter how they found out, because you can't go back and do something to that person, because that person is out the way. And none of that should matter. What should matter right now is you got to go into survival mode. And again, man, this guy, we got to understand too, when we're saying this is just coming from the mentality of being on the run, right? I understand that he's a convicted killer, and that there's a family that lost a family member because of him, right? Or lost a son or daughter, whoever they lost because of him. So we're not on his side. But I'm just saying, this is what would be my mentality if I was in his situation. I'm in Mexico. Fucking someone gave me up. I just had a standoff, killed a cop. I'm trying to get back to America, because over here, they're going to do some bad shit to me. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
You should ask West to hoop him across the border. He'd be all right.
I'm sure there's Judas posted all around the American consulate right now.
Oh, they're on him right now, Dubs.
Yeah, they're like, you ain't turning yourself in, fool.
I give that guy less than 48 hours. They're gonna have him, or he's gonna be gone, like dead. Within 48 hours, if they were able to track him, even if it was someone that gave him up or whatever, right now he's a hot commodity, very hot commodity. Like the Mexican police, they're relentless too. They're gonna snatch him. And
Eastside says the best thing for him to do is watch this live. That's the last thing he's doing.
Did you get this information from a reliable source? It's in the just read an article on it.
I just read 2 different articles on it. We got we heard from a homie that's in TJ. Gunner heard from several other people. But yeah, I got the text at I'll tell you exactly what time I got the text from TJ. 6:07. At 6:07, I got the text from TJ. And I've received 2 different news articles.
And I started getting phone calls within the last hour. So it's all happened around the same time. Myself and Dubs started getting, we weren't even talking on the phone. We were nothing. And I just called him. I was like, we need to go live. This is what I'm hearing. He was like, I'm hearing the same thing, but let's confirm it first. So,
do as much as we can to confirm.
Yeah, we did as much. And again, that's why we're trying to put the pieces together. We do know that there was an officer that was killed, and allegedly it was Cesar Hernandez who's implicated in that. So like we said, like Dubs read, there was a joint task force in Mexico put together to get him. They caught him at a spot. He barricaded himself, got into a shootout, and an officer got killed. And then he fled. Again, we don't know right now. It's breaking, so we don't know right now if he's still in a standoff with the cops at this moment or if he wiggled. So, but it's definitely
and there's a very good chance that they did catch him already, and we'll never know.
Yeah, he might just disappear into the wind. And
no.
But I'm saying different type of disappear.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's different when it's an American thing. Like, yeah, they're gonna go in there, arrest them. Here, you guys have him back. Do what you do with them. But now he has committed the ultimate crime, which is killing a police officer in Mexico. That right there, there's no coming back from that. You don't do time for that over there. You don't make it. You don't make it. It's just like in the United States, man. If you're in a prison yard, you assault an officer, man. Best believe everywhere you go within the system, they're gonna know about it, and there's gonna be some officers that don't like it. I've seen dudes get mysterious black eyes in the middle of the night, or I've seen dudes hang it up in the middle of the night that were never prone to do shit like that. Seen it, been in buildings where it happened. So it's a situation where he's in Mexico where it's everyone knows, man, they play dirty over there.
I mean, shit, you'll see they'll have certain dudes under arrest and the dude doesn't want to pick his head up and they'll slap the shit out of him and yank him by his hair like, fool, you're gonna lift your face up,
Yeah, there's the rules are different. That's one of the things being on the run, crossing into another country. You have to understand that you're taking a risk. And, even when I was on the run, I went into Mexico. Now, I wasn't on the run for a murder or I wasn't facing life. I knew eventually we were going to cross back over and I was going to not turn myself in, but get caught. I was just trying to get a nice little run in to chill, stack a little bit of bread, have a little bit of fun, and then go to prison. This situation is life or death.
Ramon asked Dubs, did the article say if there was any U.S. law enforcement involved with Mexican authorities? It didn't say, but I would assume there would be because he's an American citizen. I would assume there was going to be at least, an FBI agent or something that's going to be involved. I don't know.
There had to be, if they're looking for him in Mexico based off of a murder he did and an escape he did in California, then obviously there had to be some type of U.S. Correspondence there, something there for them to even know about it, so they got the phone call and they set up the test. So there's a link. There's definitely
absolutely. Gracias, Gerardo.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot in the next coming days. As more information comes out and better information, then we'll put in our 2 cents. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory now. This dude escaped. He didn't leave the border area. And, if he had any money wired to him, that those wire transfers can be traced, that could be the beginning. But I don't know, man. I just have a gut feeling somebody rolled on him. And we had been saying before, No disrespect, but a lot of times when dudes have an old lady with them and they get in a fight and they want to cheat on their old lady or something, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, man. She might have been like, you want to fuck around? I'm gonna fuck around now.
Yeah.
Who knows who it was, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if someone gave him up.
Even sometimes, man, it's even closer than that. It could be a parent that says, I'm tired of seeing my child go through this, stressed out.
I doubt his parents, knowing it's Mexico and knowing their son is more than likely packing, he's already a killer. I would highly doubt that the parents would report.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm just saying I've seen situations where people are like, that he's all stressed out, he's panicked, his anxiety. He's better off in there, because we don't want him to kill someone else or die out here. And in this case, this guy's a killer. There's no question about it. He's willing to do whatever it takes to stay free. I think he overdid it this time. And here's my thing, Dubs. Why in your right mind would you stay? Maybe he's wanted to be close to the border. I would go. I would have been deep into Mexico in the jungle somewhere.
I would have went to fucking Peru or something. Try to make my way to Cuba. Mm-hmm. Cuba has no extradition treaty with the United States. He should have tried to make his way there and start his life over, start a family, whatever. He wouldn't have had to carry a gun in Cuba. He actually wouldn't have been able to get one. It's a communist nation.
Yeah.
But
I think he definitely made a few mistakes. Maybe a mistake in trusting whoever he trusted. The second mistake is staying too close. But again, man, it's all speculation. We don't know if he got given up. Usually that's what happens. Mm-hmm. More than likely, because they would have got him a long time ago. One thing about the CDCR, mm-hmm. They don't like egg on their face, right?
Well, so they have a lot on their face right now, though.
Well, they do right now.
With all the killings and all that stuff, they're more concerned with that than this shit, And I'll tell you, for those of you that don't know, the CDC has a department, a team, we'll call it a unit called the SSU, and the SSU are part of kicking in doors and chasing down fugitives. And this is the type of shit that they fucking love. So there's a chance there was maybe an SSU agent over there in Mexico today with them. It just depends on how long they've been sitting on this information and whether or not they wanted to involve the Americans in it. But I know the SSU dudes are fucking probably dying to run around in Mexico right now.
No, most definitely.
No, he didn't. Ramon, he survived. He was in a standoff. He barricaded himself in a home, shot it out with the cops, and a commanding officer, a cop, wound up dead in the shootout.
Yeah. And with that right there, that's one thing you can't be as a cop killer, man. Especially in a country like Mexico where, the rule of law, besides, we're not even going to go into other things, they're not playing about killing their own.
No,
he's in trouble. He's in trouble, and there's words that we can't use that he may experience if he's apprehended alive. Mm-hmm. That we just can't use. I'm sure you guys' imagination could run. That will definitely be implemented because that's how they get down. I mean, they damn near do it just when you stole the candy bar. So they're gonna.
Why is it? Central 209 says, why isn't Mexico broadcasting this? Telemundo, which is it's here, but Telemundo just a few minutes ago dropped something too.
Yeah. We beat Telemundo by a few minutes, but it's definitely a situation where this is him. It's confirmed that it's him, mm-hmm. and that people that have been asking about him and keeping up with the case, he's surfaced, right? He's surfaced, and it's crazy because I thought it would go this way. I didn't think about the cop killer, and I knew eventually they would snatch him up. I believed, man, he was smart enough to keep going deeper, like Dub said, into a different country where there's no extradition. Obviously, man, he stood close, and that's going to be his downfall right there.
That was dumb.
I give him 48 hours, man. That's just me just thinking personally. But again, we don't know. He could went down a rabbit hole and disappear. But if they got that much people on him, and now with this, they're on him harder now. Absolutely.
And there's somebody just asked, would he be able to pay his way out of this? I don't see it. I don't see it because there's too many. There's too many agencies involved now. And I'm sure the governor's pissed, so what is this thing right here? Share your referral link. What is this?
I have no idea. Again, man, this is Tijuana just seems too close to me, man. He should have went into other parts of Mexico, but again, he might not have family or people to look out for him in other parts of Mexico. Again, I don't think we're ever going to get to hear the story. I don't think we're ever going to get to hear the story. Mm-hmm. Looking for a level up, check out StreamYard, the new StreamYard. Get you a $10 discount.
Yeah, get you a $10 discount. Anybody new to streaming that
right there. Go check out StreamYard. He's never going to be in peace till he dies, says Snoop. No, and that's a thing. We've done videos on it. Being on the run, man, is probably one of the worst experiences, especially if you don't have resources. It's a very hard thing to do, man, because you're paranoid about everybody around. You can't trust anybody. Everywhere you seem to go, no one wants you around. These homeboys that you think, oh man, they got my back forever, they don't want you around because you're making the spot hot. So you feel outcasted from your family, from your friends. Very few people will fuck with you. It's hard to get resources. You can't get a job, can't go get welfare, food stamp, none of that. Yet most of these guys depend on women or depend on, certain family members. And then you have to walk the thin line. Now you're under their thumb. Like whatever they say, you got to do, because if you fuck up or get crazy one time, they can give you up. I've been on the run a couple different times. And
I didn't. I just clicked the link. Whatever's on there, they put on there. I didn't put that on there. They just said click this to post it, so I did. It has hearts on it. Oh shit!
Yeah, the heart eyes and all that.
But imagine this. I was just thinking about this right now. Imagine, this dude can't go into a gun shop. Whatever ammunition he has on him is what he has, and if he was in a shootout, he might be carrying around an empty gun now.
Yeah.
It's only good for looks now.
He's in a situation where he could be separated from whatever lifeline he had going on, right? And now he's really on his own. Now he can't trust the last few people that he could trust. And best believe, man, they're going to go door to door, spot to spot, putting pictures of him. He's a cop killer now. Not only is he a convicted killer in the state of California, he's now a cop killer. That's a whole different animal right there. In Mexico, they're very relentless about that. And so that's what I'm saying. I give them 48 hours.
I'm telling you, in Mexico, it's intimidating. You go into TJ and them Judas are running around in trucks, homie, pickup trucks, ski masks on, and assault rifles. And they're just like, hey, pull over. And you're like, holy shit.
I know how they do it. What's up, La Pedorra? Did they catch him? No, he killed the cop.
No, he got in a shootout, and one officer's dead. And he's on the run. But like Gunner, again, to recap, Gunner and I, like we were talking about, they may very well catch him and say they never found him at this point. Yeah. It's Mexico. It's not the United States. He doesn't have the protections that our Constitution affords you. He's in a foreign land, and he has to live by their rules, play by their rules, and
their rules are different.
I don't think he knows their rules.
And even if he does know their rules, then he knows the rules are going to work against him, because all those rules and everything that you think ceases to exist when you kill a commanding officer in Mexico. You're going to get all that buying your way out and everything. If this guy had that type of money or connections, he would have been gone already. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He wouldn't have stayed there.
He would have went to the right people and been smuggled somewhere where he could be utilized in a different spot for a different agenda. Obviously, he was hanging out with either family or friends or a connection he had there, and just, trying to stay in the cuts. And somehow, some way, like the authorities always do, they figure out or they find out someone gives you up. And so now, and what's even going to make him mad? Okay, he killed the cop. That's one thing, but they had him and couldn't catch him. One thing about law enforcement is that's like a slap in their face. We fucking had him, and this fool was able to wiggle. Now we're really gonna get him,
Chris says he's still armed, right? Possibly some crazy stuff coming up. Well, like I just said, he was armed. Mexico is not like the United States. Whatever ammunition he had on him is what he had. He's not gonna be able to go back to wherever he had his stash. And it's pretty good odds are he emptied his gun. Most people aren't carrying around a bunch of different magazines with them. You carry around enough to handle your business or get somebody up off you and bounce.
Maybe he was just defending himself, Dubs. Put our deference. attorney hats on. There's no
defending himself from what?
In Mexico. Yeah, from getting arrested for a murder.
Yeah, he's on the run for murder.
He's on the run. Yeah, he's a fugitive. He's a fugitive. There's no self-defense when you're a fugitive.
La Pedora. You think CDCR extraction will go there? Well, I was just saying, I'm pretty sure, knowing the way them SSU guys are, I'm pretty sure they're fucking itching to get in there and play commando. You know, they love kicking in doors and fucking with people. They can't do that in Mexico, but they would love to run around with them and chase this dude and get off a few shots. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, SSU is definitely going to be involved because he is still, what's the word I'm looking for? A convicted criminal. He is still part of the California Department of Corrections. They own him, basically. He still has that number. He's still with CDCR, even though he's on the run, Dubs, he belongs to them. He belongs to that prison, to that system. So, yes, if they do, say he does make it, he surrenders or he makes it over, immediately he's going to be placed back in prison. Immediately. He's going to go straight back to prison, or they're going to put him wherever they catch him at and then take him right back to the prison and put him in the wheel and figure out what they're going to do with them. And if he caught more cases on the way, then all those will stack up against him. And it's not going to mean nothing anyway. He's already basically a lifer. Thank you, Petro. We appreciate that.
Well, and then he's still fighting the case he escaped from.
Well, here's my thing. Yeah. So he still has to do that. But here's my thing, Dubs, because, yeah, he has to escape. He's going to catch more time. But if you're doing 25 to life, that really doesn't. It's not going to change.
No, he caught that. He caught that case to escape more than likely.
So here's my thing. He's already on the run, murder, locked up, escapes, whatever other little things he's done along the way that they know about that they haven't even put out there because they know everything. You know, law enforcement, they know all the things. He catches this murder in Mexico. Does that take precedent over his time he's already doing or no?
No.
Hey, thank you. Second and first time loser.
Hey, thank you. Wow, aren't you the one that gave me 100 yesterday?
Yes.
Wow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, he's an American citizen. He's a convict over here. If he is brought back here, then it becomes where Mexico is going to say, "Hey, we want him," and the United States is going to have to say, "Well, he's already serving life. What do you plan on?" Mexico doesn't have a death penalty. So there's nothing more they can give him unless they just kill him themselves during the arrest.
Which is quite possible in Mexico.
But if he's caught over here, then they can't kill him.
So once he's caught over here, that case goes away, basically.
What I'm saying is he wouldn't be extradited back to Mexico because they can't give him anything worse than he already has.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
So he needs to make his ass up over here quick.
If he finds his way back to a fucking California prison, it's the best thing for him. I'm telling you, the dude, there will be women that will want to fucking save him and change him. And he's such a good guy. And, you know, I'm telling you, I've seen it. You know, we've heard of it. That fucking weirdo Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, had women fucking sending him thousands and thousands. Charles Manson, thousands and thousands. These women think they can save these guys and they can change them. And this same thing will happen with this guy. And then he'll have the fellas behind the wall like, damn, fool, you did that. You know, superstar.
Mo Vision says if he gets caught, where will they place him? Right back in the same prison he escaped from, man. He'll go there to the
I don't know that.
You don't think they'll put him in AdSeg until they go to ICC and transfer him?
I don't know that. This is a special case. He escaped from that prison. They might not want him in the same prison.
No, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't he have to go to ICC though before he could just be moved, or they just use a special?
No, he's already gone. He's already gone. He already did his own ICC on his own. What are you talking about? He put himself up for transfer, and then
more than likely they'll place him in the most secure prison in California, which is probably High Desert or Pelican.
No, and don't get me wrong, he could wind up at the same prison, right? Yeah. But initially, he's gonna get slammed somewhere. And he's going to see. I don't know anymore what CDC has. You know, I don't know about the oil. They're so friendly now that they change the names of everything. Yeah. So maybe they call it the corner. That the box, the oil now is called the timeout. It's called timeout. They're gonna put them in timeout.
Hey, the oil now. There's no more box or oil. It's now called the rectangle. They're gonna put them in the rectangle, though.
Yeah.
I said rectangle, and Wes Watson's ears perked up. He thought I said rectal. No, I said rectangle, stupid.
Yeah, but seriously, I don't know what the CDC does now, but I'm sure he whatever restrictive housing they have in the CDC right now, whatever the fuck they're calling it, he's going there. And then they're going to, and everywhere that cat goes, he's going to have a black box, waist chains, shackles. It doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. Let me
go
explain.
to Gordon.
No, he's not a federal. It's not a federal case. Now, he did cross over to another country and do a murder. I don't know if the feds would get involved on that, Dubs. You know what I mean? If that could be something federal because he used a firearm.
Again, the only way they would, I don't know. If they can, the only way they would do that is if they want to give him the death penalty.
Yeah.
They can't give him the death penalty for a murder in another country.
Yeah, I know. I
don't see how the feds can pick him up.
Situation with him, real tricky. But we're talking about a guy who just allegedly killed a police officer in Mexico. Hey, we're wishful thinking. I don't think he's gonna make it out of Mexico, man.
I'm not wishful thinking. I don't think he's. I think he might already be gone.
Yeah,
I don't mean gone like still running, still breathing.
Yeah, he might.
They might have win already.
Yeah, because he killed a Mexican cop, man. There is no fucking laws anymore when it comes to that over there. They're gonna fucking do what they do, and no one's gonna get in trouble for it. You know. But again, man, this guy seems to be the cat. You know, he's been. You know, he got away just to escape at the level that he was at from the California Department of Corrections. That was pretty brazen that he did that. I mean, I don't understand how he did that. Like, he was able just to run away. That right there was shocking. And then to make it all the way into Mexico and then get away from a fucking standoff. Like, this dude he's really pissing him off. You know what I mean?
He is.
Slippery.
And well, whatever the fuck he is, he's not happy. He's never going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
The most comfortable he's going to be is being in a jail cell, a prison cell in California.
Yeah, and like you said, he'll be even more comfortable because he has now become a celebrity.
Absolutely.
In the criminal world. It's a crazy world we live in, but Dubs is absolutely 100% right. He will become a celebrity, not even amongst the convicts in there. They'll be like, damn, fool, that's not fool that you did that. But even more so the ladies and people that are like, oh, man, he's famous. He's the one that did that and did this. And, you know, because not a lot of people escape. You hear about people walking off from like camps or whatever. Nobody has ever and nobody will ever escape from a level 4 180. This dude, he was a level 4, I believe a level 4 180 convict, but he escaped during transport. So once they put him back on a 180 yard, and he will be on a 180 yard for life now. He wouldn't even be able to make it to a 270. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not the points. It's he escaped.
The escape.
Yeah, they will cap him out, and but I don't think he's gonna be incarcerated again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I'm sure we have a lot of new people right now. Make sure you guys who are new to the channel subscribe to both Gunner's channels as well as mine. We'd appreciate that.
We'd appreciate that. You know, again, man, we're breaking the news tonight on the Delano escapee who surfaced in Mexico, in Baja California, in TJ, got into a shootout standoff with the Mexican authorities and killed a commanding officer. Now, this is all allegedly. The actual event happened, but again, we're not putting no dirt on no one's back. That's not what we do over here. There's other channels that do that, not us. And it's an ongoing case. And right now, you know, it could be a situation where he could be caught or he could even be gone, man. I guess we're all going to have to find out. It has made the newscast now. Like Dub says, it was on Telemundo. So it's not something we're just making up. It's actual facts that are happening. We got a lot of different people in Mexico and a lot of people that we talked to, man, that actually brought this to our attention. So we appreciate you guys. And we try to do our homework the best we could on this, man. We're going to get up out of here. We thank you guys so much for jumping in. It's a quick live tonight. Again, we're leaving these videos up on our perspective channels. If you're new, go tap in, look at all our other content. I think you'll like it. We appreciate you guys. We'll keep you updated on everything.
Yeah, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.